Hello everybody! Welcome back to episode 2 of my Kerbal Space Program Ultra Hard Career Mode. Now, if you need a reminder of what we did in the first video, we finished off making this long boy rocket, and we have done our first launch of this save. However, I had a very high IQ individual here pointed out, I'm actually serious, he's pretty smart, and he pointed out that we could use, I could be smart and use the crew reports. So, interesting idea. I think we'll do it. So we're going to be using crew reports throughout this. Also, if there's any stuttering, it's because I'm playing this on my Steam Deck and just transmitting into my computer. Anyway, here is the long boy. I should patent this design because it's so good. Now, the idea with this is that we should be able to complete contracts with it. Then we need to test the swivel engine, so we have to get the parachute, which is the one I'm hoping to do. We have to manage our speed a little bit with these stages, which is why, as you can see, I kind of separate them so that this one doesn't fire as soon as I deploy that one. So we can kind of control our speed between the 210 and 280 until we get to 10,000 meters. Then we're going to drop down, because as soon as if we complete all these, we're good. We're having a little lag right here. Yeah, so that's all I wanted to do today. Hate this. Alright, we're ready to launch. And then we have that engine, which hopefully should survive the mission. We are now ready to go. And up we go. Now we're going to try to manage our speed a little bit here. We don't really need it in the first stage. We just have to kind of keep our speed around that 210. I'm going to have our contracts open so we can see. We're kind of going the perfect speed right now. Now we're going to go up a little bit. We do have a small margin of error, so hopefully that plays out in our to be a benefit for us. We can also do the thermometer experiment. Hope we can slow down quick enough. Yeah, let's do that. Do we get anything for doing the goo experiments? No. We no longer get anything for doing goo. So we've kind of passed it, but we can hit it on the way down. So we're going to speed up here. Go in the correct speed, not going to the correct altitude, however. The idea is I should be over the ocean by now. If I'm not, I do have a solution. But I'm all out of boosters, so... If I can deploy my chute... Uh-oh. I don't think we're going to get this one. We are not going to get this one, unfortunately. Which is kind of a shame, as... Can we? Oh, we passed it. Alright, this is a difficult one. We're going to need liquid fuel. We're probably going to need liquid fuel. So we got to kind of turn here so we can try to land in the water. We'll just get close to it. So that was a pretty pointless expedition. We no longer get any points for goo, so unless we're going to do something new, we're not going to include it. Now, we did get points for this. We did get... Seems like we're going fast. Yes, we are. Oh. Right, we landed further than I was hoping. Donk. Gotta find which way the ocean is. Far that way. So this is probably going to be one of the longer segments. It didn't last long. We ran out of electric charge. We have no choice but to recover the vessel. That mission was an unfortunate failure. That mission was a failure, and Well, it's not that bad of a failure. Someone could have died. But the worst thing is we lost money. So Long Boy was kind of a failure. If I were to manage the boosters better, I think it would have worked out. Or add more boosters, we could do that. But I'm mainly concerned about the cost, as we can only launch like one more of these safely. I think if we launched at more of an angle, we could at least do one of these. So let's add another booster. We could add a liquid-fueled top booster too, but then that's kind of pointless. We already have one. But we can't activate it. Alright. Yep, we're ready to go with an extra booster. One thing is we accelerate a bit slower, so we have less delta V in our first stage, because we have to use all of it to accelerate. After immediately dropping and firing the booster back up, we really do have to watch our meters per second here, and we're going to start angling a little bit here. We appear to not be going that quick. We're going fast enough to meet the contract. We might be able to just glide toward there. We're past it now. We might have overshot again. Unfortunate, but we still can complete one of the contracts. If we can slow down, we can do it. We don't need to slow down by a lot. I'm trying to slow down here. We went a bit above, so we're currently at it. If we could just fall a bit. We can't slow down too much, however. Or speed up too much. And... oh, come on. Come on, come on, come on. Meet it. Oh, we missed it again. That's a bit annoying. I'm actually considering worried about failing this. If we fail this, our save is dead because we cannot afford the reputational losses due to them being so high, which will limit our contracts in the future, allowing us to make less money. That was unfortunate. Of course, now we're going the perfect speed. That was unfortunate. However, we can still complete this one and get a bit of money back. Whee. That is unfortunate. We have our first death of the save, Jebediah. It was not a glitch, so we will not revert. That was pretty unfortunate. Seeing the death of Jebediah has really affected the space program. Now, what do we do, you may be asking? Someone just died. Do we decide to do a punishment? I think it would be right. I'm going to be using the cheat menu. Can I open it? I guess I can't. Hold on. Whoa, you can see a bit of background? That cut was me just reassigning a few controls here so we can do this. Oh. I'm pressing the button. Okay. Alright, well, off camera, I will remember to remove $100,000. Yeah. We had a pretty unfortunate loss so far this episode. So, actually, see what can we do? Oh, we lost some rep for killing an astronaut. It was only a matter of time. R.I.P. Jebediah. Yeah, so, does this mean we fail? Why don't you guys say so in the comments? But so, what are we gonna do about this? Well, can we get a bailout grant? We can have a bailout grant of $25,000. But, however, we lose a large amount of reputation. Ultimately, we will have a memorial for Jebediah. We could sell our science for some more funds. We could sell 0.23 science for 10,000. I think we will. Just for some more funds. I wonder if there's any that give us. There aren't any that just straight up give us science. Yes, unfortunately, we have lost Jebediah. We shall make a memorial craft. Jebediah unfortunately lost his life on the Long Boy spacecraft at 3:39 p.m. Rest in peace, Jebediah. Gone but not forgotten. We are now down to a single pilot. We are now down to only one pilot. We will have no choice but to use Valentina as our pilot. Now, if Valentina dies, we must hire another pilot. But we can't with our money. If Valentina dies, the save will end. Unless we can get a pilot in that time, which I highly doubt. I will additionally never use this craft again. It's actual garbage. Yes. This marks the unfortunate passing of Jebediah. Gone, but certainly not forgotten. With that said, we can finally begin testing. We can finally begin. Now, because we failed both contracts, basically, we're going to go with a redesign using the onion. And liquid fueled engine. Now, there isn't much we can do. We will have to unlock fuel tanks first. We will now attempt to build another long spacecraft. We're going to do another long spacecraft, but ultimately, Jebediah will still sit with me. Jeb may be dead, but we don't got that bread. Anyway, we don't have any side couplers, so we're just gonna mount the boosters like this. What ultimately killed Jebediah was the parachute failing to fail. The parachute unfortunately opened too late, killing Jebediah. This was an avoidable mistake, and our space program will feel it for years. With that being said, let's name this Not Long Boy. not long boy. We'll probably just ride the rocket out, honestly. As the rocket climbs, it appears alright, although we did slide a little bit. Detaching the stages, whoa, we flipped. This is unfortunate, but preventable. As we flipped around the atmosphere like a, well, spacefaring monkey. This mission was nearly a failure. Yeah, unfortunately we can't EVA. So, we simply deploy the chute and wait for landing. Except, someone said we should do a crew report, so let's do that. Point 4 science, pretty good. And by pretty good, basically, if you start up a career mode save, you will make a lot more science than I do, because I have made it harder. Oh, we're going down. Now, one thing, this has no reaction wheels, so it's pretty much unavoidable. As the ground looms in the distance, I wonder what Valentine is. Considering how she watched Jeb die. Good thing I didn't make it a 2-man mission. Otherwise the save would have been over. Now, we have very little choice as we've lost more money and we can't take another contract. So, what does this mean for us? Does it mean we're gonna fail? Possibly. Checking the contracts, I found that, well, we can't exactly back out. We have to do these contracts. We have no choice. If I fail these contracts, the save is dead. Yeah, so we do have orbit. However, we must go back on that science grind. If we can get 5 science, we can get liquid fuel tanks from basic rocketry. And we will permanently unlock the swivel engine. And we get this smaller fuel tank, we get that small fuel tank, the rocket, the hammer solid fuel booster, and the swivel liquid fuel engine. Survivability, that would be pretty useful. We should get this before landing on the moon, due to the fact it contains landing gear. And radial chutes, which we will need if we want to bring that engine back down. So, what we must do is we gotta complete that liquid fuel engine one. So let's do that. We gotta complete the liquid fuel engine. I have an idea on how we can do this. It's a pretty simple one. But, we simply need to get the engine. And now, if you promise not to tell the FBI, we're going to do a little bit of trickery. We will be adding multiple parachutes using these girder segments. Specifically, placing 2 of them like this allows for us to use 3 parachutes. I doubt the game intends you to do this, but that's what we're doing. Now, if you are mad about this and you think this is cheating, do remember what we've gone through so far. And do remember our failed attempt. Rest in peace, Jebediah Kerman. Now, after strapping a booster to the bottom, we're ready to go. And after giving it a witty name, we're ready to go. Now, this looks unorthodox, but will it work? Honestly, I got my money on no. Now, I just realized we have a problem in our staging. This decoupler should fire now, but we don't want the engine to activate. We want the parachutes to activate. There's a 50-50 that once I push the space bar, the engine will activate. Luckily, it didn't. The odds were in my favor, for once. And as we come down towards the ocean, screaming in at over 100 meters per second, we're slowed down to about 5. Now, 5 is still faster than I'd like, but I don't think it's going to destroy the engine. If it does, I will be big unhappy. Whilst we have made some terrible financial decisions during this episode, ultimately we could have had much worse. Well, barely. As we fall towards the surface, the engine is in fact not destroyed. Meaning, we are in kerbal and splashed down. As soon as we push this, we have completed. But we have a problem, as we are sinking. We must act fast or Valentino will be stuck. Luckily, after evacuating the vehicle, Valentino will swim to the surface at a terrible pace. I didn't mean to accelerate that, by the way. Luckily, Valentina is the agency's worst swimmer. I mean, don't be mad at her. You don't really need good swimming for this. But anyway, as we arrive at the surface, Valentina breaks the water like a whale. Not really, but you know. We recover Valentina. And, well, we may or may not have left some garbage at the bottom of the ocean, but, you know, that's not my concern. And we are now at less money than we started at. With the personal parachute and jetpack, this is all we have. Yeah, it's a pretty unfortunate loss. We did not get any science from the mission. The only thing that matters is Valentine is alive. Now, at Mission Control, we have completed a single contract. Meaning we should probably take something I know how to do. Like this. This will give us a decent bit of money and some reputation. Escape the atmosphere. I think we can do this right now, and we probably will. We will. This is going to be the big moment. This is the moment of truth. This is what we have been building to. We have a measly $6,500 to do this. We must cheap out at every possible corner. Now, one thing, in order to save a bit of money, let's go to the crew section. We must find what Valentina is equipped with, as we can't use the parachute and we can't use the jetpack, since Valentina can't leave the vehicle unless we're on kerbal. Now, these two items we don't need. Yeah, so we can see here, we don't need these. Congrats, we just saved nearly nothing. but nearly nothing is a start. We also don't need the monopropellant in here. That saves a little bit of money too, and weight. Now, our engine, in this case, we will be using the Flea solid fuel booster the whole way. Now, I know the last time we used these, it didn't go too well. We lost Jebediah. But it's basically all we have. Now, if I had a heat shield, I would probably put that on for safety. But we don't, so this is the safest thing we have. We are going to do a few decoupler chains and the Flea booster. The Flea booster is pretty bad. In fact, if I could, I wouldn't use it. No, can't chain them. Right. So, we will keep attaching these Flea boosters for about 3 stages. Then, we'll double up, and the bottom stage will have 4. This is a bit more expensive than I'd like, but it'll work. So, on this stage, we have 2 of the engines. These engines are cheaper than liquid-fueled engines, by the way. Now, we have 2 on this stage, and we'll probably have another stage of 2, and then the last stage will be a stage of 4. It appears we already have about enough fuel. However, we're not done till we're done. I can't alt-click them? Or whatever. Now, we're going to have a stage of 4 underneath this. Using the offset tool, we move the boosters up so they're not in the way of the final stage. Now, we could place them along the sides like this. Yeah. So we have 5 on one stage, which is quite a bit. We just have to check the staging. Make sure that's all good. Yep, it's fine. So, now that we launch, we're ready to go. This mission is probably as simple as it's gonna get. We're gonna go up and then back down. It's amazing. We're not even doing a science run. We're doing this just to spite all the people who said we couldn't make it. 3, 2, 1, go. We accelerate at a decent speed. As we lose solid fuel, we gain speed. Now, we are currently moving pretty quick. As we just ran out of fuel, we fire up the next stage. We don't have any nose cones, so we have a bit of aerodynamic drag from that. However, we still get accelerated by the stage. This next stage we do pretty well with as well. The last stage is going to be the real kicker, though. That's what should push us to over 70 kilometers. We have done it. For an extra very small boost, we have done it. We got into space. And with that touchy segment right there, we may have had a touchy segment or few, but we've done it. I'm very proud of this program. And we're going to take a crew report because someone said I missed that last time. The sky seems to be mostly below us. Indeed. We are in space, Valentina. with the unfortunate loss of Jebediah Kerman. This flight will be in spite of what he tried to do. Now, as we're coming down, we're going down at about a speed which will produce some heat, however we should not die. Which is generally good, you generally don't want to die. Anyway, we're going to point normal, as that is our point the most drag. It's the most drag we're going to produce. As the craft starts to heat up, as the area gets thicker, we do start to heat up more than I'm comfortable with. That marks the unfortunate end of the program. Due to overheating of the command pod, causing explosions and ending the death of Valentina Kerman. This, unless we can somehow drum up $500,000 to get a new astronaut and train them, we will not be able to continue the program. This has been an unfortunate loss. Yeah, we didn't get much. We have 16,000 funds. And unless we can get a scientist to fly the craft, I absolutely doubt that we will be able to continue the program. Oops, I accidentally jumped into the spaceplane hangar here. This has been the worst loss in the history of this space program. Astronaut complex. Ooh, it's cheaper this time. 400,000. We need to drum up 400,000 funds. I think we might go with Bob. If Bob can fly, then that will save the whole program. Due to an unfortunate overheating, he realized, well, we should probably have something that's more heat protected. And it appears that we do. The onion reentry module can withstand up to an extra 200 Kelvin, about 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Not much, but a start. However, it can't control itself, therefore we won't be using it. Due to the unfortunate loss, the program might be cancelled. And unless an absolute miracle happens, this program is dead. As we can see, the Mark 1 command pod is, well, pretty garbage. This will mark the unfortunate end. It's been fun. It's been fun, but if no more pilots, we can't continue. R.I.P. TGHQ-1 space program.